Oh yeah, good news. I guess winning is in my DNA. I am finally off my immunosuppressants. Welcome back to my second Battle with Cancer series here on YouTube. And in today's video, I'm going to be sharing what my life looks like 9 months after my bone marrow transplant. I'm also going to be sharing what my treatment plan looks like going forward after the 9 months. So let's get into it. So the last time I did a update on life video was at my 6-month post-transplant. Right, so there's a few important dates that you gotta know. There's like obviously the transplant date, there's the 6-month, and due to what you'll hear towards the end of the video, this weird awkward 9-month period, and then of course the 1-year period is going to be huge because then that's obviously 1 year out from my transplant, meaning my 2nd birthday. And then additionally, after the 1-year period, another really important date is the 5-year, because that's when you can be declared NED, so no evidence of disease, and technically, kind of that's when they deem you like cancer done, like you're finally done with things. So yeah, so those important dates are 6 months, this weird 9-month one in the middle, the 1 year, so my 2nd birthday, and then again at 5 years when the hospital finally declares you as, you know, NED, no evidence of disease. So starting out, what I've been doing in my life, well, to be honest with you, it's been pretty great. My health has been going extremely well. And I am so happy that I have finally been able to get back into the gym. I have been trying to get consistent with that again. I probably go anywhere from 3 to 5 days every single week. And then additionally with the gym, I am back playing basketball, and it has been, I don't know any way other of explaining it than just amazing. Not just for my physical health, but for my mental health as well. To be able to get back onto the court and just relax and, you know, let the mind kind of, not necessarily go numb, but for me, that is my like safe space where if I can just shoot around and play basketball with a bunch of friends, it is so beneficial. The one thing for me that I find a bit challenging or interesting is before I got into this whole cancer thing, including the first time, I used to be really good at basketball. I used to be really athletic, and then now, you know, going back onto the court, it's really challenging because my brain still plays like I used to before, like really good, but my body doesn't move like I used to, right? So it's really challenging when my brain says one thing, but my body can't, you know, make what my brain says happen. And I see that a lot, specifically in the gym, and even more so while playing basketball. But nevertheless, you know, being able to do this again is just so amazing. And it's been a lot of what I've been doing lately. Additionally, it's not just the gym and basketball. I really like to do other sports. I'm pretty much just like anything athletic, anything I can get my body moving and going, and there's some sort of competition to it. I love it. So another sport that I've been playing a lot of is tennis. I probably play tennis maybe once, maybe sometimes twice a week, and it is just really fun. I have never played tennis competitively, but I still win, right? Winning is in my DNA. It's just the way it is. You can ask everybody. They don't like how I just naturally win at everything, but I like it, so that works out. But yeah, I've been playing a lot of tennis too. It is so much fun to just be outside, especially in this amazing Arizona weather. It's the kind of workout or athletic thing that I do that gets me outside, which is huge. And then that's super fun to just go out there with like friends and family and just hit the ball back and forth, and then maybe play a couple games. And then same thing with pickleball. Pickleball is huge. It's growing like crazy. I'm sure if you haven't heard about it, you will soon, but it's like poor guy's tennis, or less athletic tennis if you want to get that way about it. But it is really fun nevertheless, and it's super beginner friendly, so anyone can really just jump in and play it whenever. So that's been great. Also another thing that I do to get out is either run or go play golf. Those are kind of the 3 things that I use to get outside, either running, golf, or tennis. And then for other health standpoints, I try to be in the gym, try at least every day, and then play basketball, you know, 3 to 4 times a week. So from a health standpoint, that's what I've been doing. I absolutely love it, and it's inspiring me to make another series on this channel, which hopefully you will see sometime soon. But again, This whole YouTube stuff is a lot of work and on the side from my main job, which brings me into what else I've been doing is my job, right? So I'm a realtor, I'm a real estate professional. I help people buy, sell, and invest properties, and that's, again, what I've been doing a lot of lately. I'm just happy to be out there and able to do these things again when it comes down to it. Being able to show properties, and now I'm even getting into the content creation side of these properties. So if you start to see a lot more real estate on this channel, that's why. And of course, I am just still hanging out with Lemon and the dogs pretty much every morning, every night, and every chance I can get at this point. So they're still really relevant in my life, and additionally with her family and my family, anytime I can get to spend with them is great. And if you want to see more of my day-to-day lifestyle, follow me on Instagram because I post it all over my stories. So if you want to stay more connected and reach out to me personally, it's a lot easier to do it if you just do it over Instagram. So don't forget to follow me there as well. And speaking of following me, if you're not already subscribed to this YouTube channel right here, take a second, go like the video and subscribe because it really helps out my channel and it makes me feel like this is actually worth it. So that pretty much encompasses everything that I do on a daily basis, 9 months outside of transplant. It's honestly more than I thought I was going to be able to, but I mean, I'm able to work, I'm able to be in the gym, and I'm still hanging out with all my friends and family 9 months outside of transplant. So does it get any better than that? So that leads me into the next portion of this video, and that's where is my treatment going 9 months outside of transplant, right? So if you saw my last video, the 6-month update to this video, obviously there's been 3 months in between. I've gotten my blood tested multiple times, and unfortunately to say, they found some weird stuff in my blood.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
Not to alarm you, my doctor has been super on top of it. My team has been super responsive, and it's nothing to worry about, hopefully yet, and hopefully at all, but they found some stuff in my blood and they were worried that it's either, allergy related or GVHD related. And if you don't know what GVHD is, it's graft versus host disease. It's one of the main issues that you have to worry about with transplant. So I got this. At my 6th month, they were supposed to take me off of my immunosuppressants, but that's when they found out that there was some weird stuff in my blood a couple weeks later that they didn't know what it was. So they left me on all of my immunosuppressants just in case it was something that you should worry about, or if it was GVHD, the graft versus host, the immunosuppressants wouldn't allow it to get further. So it was kind of like the doctors doing their brain stuff and making sure everything works. So I did have a little bit of a scare in there, and it wasn't too much of a scare because my doctors and team did a really good job at just explaining that even though we don't know what it is, we have a good plan and action to handle it and move forward. I just got my blood tested again this Friday and everything's great. The elevated levels in my blood that were giving them signs for that weird thing or potential GVHD are completely back down to normal, and I don't have anything to worry about in that sense. But in the offhand, my doctor did want to do an additional bone marrow biopsy just to make sure, you can never be too safe with this whole cancer stuff and bone marrow transplant. He really wanted to just make sure that the bone marrow is still clean and there's nothing we have to worry about. So generally speaking, everyone's transplant timeline is going to be different. But for me specifically, I had to do a bone marrow biopsy on my transplant. And then it's, I think, at 3 months, 6 months, and then usually at a year, right? So you go from every 3 months and then to 6 months and then a year, right? So hopefully that makes sense.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
So you're not really supposed to have a bone marrow biopsy at your 9-month mark where I'm at right now. But because of the kind of weird blood thing that they found at 6 months, my doctor just wants to make sure that everything is okay when it comes to my blood and bone marrow and the transplant in general. So we're gonna do a precautionary bone marrow biopsy here at the 9-month, which I will get on Friday. So, yeah. So this Friday, I will be getting another bone marrow biopsy, and then it'll be about another 3 to 5 days or roughly a week to get the results back. So hopefully all of that's good. It's gonna be good. So we're just gonna plan for it to be good. So once the results come back and they're all good, what it will look like going forward is that year date is going to be huge. So on June 30th, that was the day of my transplant. If you didn't know that, go back to the start of this series, to episode 1, and kind of just like watch it through, skim it, or put it on in the background so you can start to understand where everything kind of comes from. But June 30th, 2023 is when I got my bone marrow transplant. So that's coming up in 2024 here soon. That's my 1-year mark, my 2nd birthday. So we're gonna celebrate. I don't know what we're gonna do, but once you reach that mark right there, then you can start really slowing down your treatment plan. At that point, there really is no treatment plan besides monthly blood tests. And maybe if for some reason your blood is looking kind of iffy to the doctor or your team or you can get a preventative bone marrow biopsy just to see what's going on. Additionally, at my 9-month, I finally got taken off all of my immunosuppressants. So like I said, when I came back and my blood normalized from 6 months to 9 months for that weird thing that they found, my doctors decided, you're not experiencing any GVHD, we're not seeing any signs of GVHD, we're gonna take you off all of your immunosuppressants to see how it goes. So I'm kind of in like a test run right now, and so far it is going amazing. And honestly, I know I've only been off my immunosuppressants for maybe a week, not even a week yet, but I'm starting to see such an enormous difference in my energy levels, my health, my progress. Like I'm able to go to the gym and hopefully it'll just keep, being like an exponential curve of a health and potential growth towards my body and health, because then I can start putting on muscle, I can start getting my body back, I can start getting my energy levels back, not for just work, but for my life and for my family. So hopefully it'll all just start coming full circle, which I am so excited for. So once my doctor was like, you know what, cut the immunosuppressants, let your immune system kind of build back up to a normal level. It'll take a little bit, but when it gets there, it's going to be like a whole new world, like a whole new body even. So yes, we had great news. I'm off my immunosuppressants, but I do have that preventative bone marrow biopsy here on Friday. But other than that, my life has been going really, really great. And I hope that if you know someone who's going through a transplant or you're personally going through a transplant, you can see this as it gets so much better and so much easier. And there is this light at the end of the tunnel. You just have to keep going and keep moving forward and doing the little things when you can. So hopefully you can see this as inspiring for your transplant or someone else's transplant journey or just their cancer journey in general, that eventually, if you keep putting in the effort, it pays off, not from both just like a body standpoint, but like a mental standpoint. Eventually it's going to get easier and you will get back to a point of normalcy, right? I am not there yet, but I feel every single day I am getting closer and closer and closer to what I'm going to consider my new normal, right? That new normal is something that you're gonna have to get used to, but once you get there, it is amazing. It is amazing. So know that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. I am not there yet, but I can feel it every single day that I'm getting closer. And don't get me wrong, I still have really bad days, right? There are still days where I have maybe an hour or 2 of energy and I have to lay down or I hit a wall and I'm just super tired and fatigued. You have to understand these days so that when they're there, you can treat them and live through them so that when the next day comes, you can identify, is this like a good day or bad day, and keep going on, right? So it's like if you look at a calendar, when you're going through transplant in the beginning, every single day is a bad day, right? For weeks, for months, but then slowly you start walking, you start running, you start eating better, you start drinking more, and then you can start doing this consistently, that if you look at a month timeline calendar, right? Not every single day, you'll get 1 day in the week that's good, and then it'll be 2 days a week that are good, and you'll have 2 days, and then next month you'll have maybe 3 days are good, and then a whole week of bad. But then you're back to 3 out of the 4 days, 3 out of the 7 days were really good. 5 out of the 7 days were really good, right? So I'm almost where it's like, almost every single day of the week for me is good. Maybe in a month I might have 4 bad days, but it continues to go down. So you're weeding out the amount of bad days that you have. So, and by bad days, I mean just hard ones that are stemming from the transplant or all the chemo and everything that you've been through, that I've been through. That's what I mean by a bad day. So in the end, that is what my life looks like 9 months outside of my transplant. I hope you are doing well with your journey. And if you need anything, drop a comment below or follow me on Instagram and reach out through the DMs. And don't forget to like and subscribe, as I really would appreciate it. And I will see you in the next one. Peace.